this is a momentous day for us in Salt Lake City. All of you know that we have made a high priority this year to focus attention on air quality. And with vehicles being the largest source of emissions and contributing to our poor air quality in the valley, giving people the option of ways to get out of their vehicles is critical to the success of us addressing air quality. It's also consistent with our overall effort in Salt Lake to give people plenty of options for mobility. Our rule of thumb is drive if you must, but we want to give you options for other ways to get around. And the Hive Pass that we are issuing today to all residents, is available to all residents in Salt Lake City. Takes us a major step forward. The details, I think, are certainly around, and hopefully people can get them through the website. And basically, a person can purchase an annual pass. It has to be a full year's pass for $360. That represents more than a 50% discount on passes for UTA. It applies to everything from the light rail lines, the TRAX lines, the Frontrunner, our commuter rail, and our bus system. So it applies to almost the whole system. Exceptions really are limited to things like ski buses, which are separate. This is a pilot program for UTA, and we are enormously appreciative that UTA has worked with Salt Lake City to make this pass available. We thought it was a great idea. We continue to think it's a great idea. But like anything that you start out on as an idea, it's never as easy as you might think, just based on what a good idea may be. So we have been working intensively with Utah Transit Authority to merge our Salt Lake City Hive Pass in with their existing passes, so that it complements their passes and doesn't detract from the other passes they have for major employers and for others who use the transit system. It is the success of this. It's a one-year pilot program. The success of this is going to depend on whether or not we have all these great folks who are lining up here today, and hundreds and thousands of others who sign up for a transit pass. If a lot of people use it, hopefully we'll be able to continue with it. If not many people sign up and use the Hive Pass program, it will be a one-year experiment. We'll obviously be looking for other opportunities forward. But we hope people will come forward, will take advantage of this. It's an incredible opportunity to save money, to clean our air, and to improve our overall quality of life in the city. I want to just mention two other things before I turn the microphone over to Mike Allegra, the General Manager of Utah Transit Authority. One is there are a lot of parallel efforts going on that in many ways relate to this Hive Pass program today and building a strong transit system. We all know the legislature is in session. There is one piece of legislation, HB 388, co-sponsored by Representative Johnny Anderson and Representative Joel Briscoe, which would give the authority to local governments and the voters in local jurisdictions to decide whether or not to improve transit service in our communities. Without passage of that legislation, the existing system that we have today is basically the system we will see for the foreseeable future. We know people need and want more bus service, want expanded service, want longer hours of service, want more frequent service. That legislation would enable us as local communities and as voters to make the decision for ourselves. So I want to encourage all of you who may be here for the Hive Pass, but may be following what's going on and interested in improving our air quality and improving our transportation and mobility options, to please contact your legislators and contact legislators up on the Hill and let them know that we need HB 388 to pass. Finally, let me just mention one other thing. We've we've had people literally working night and day from both Utah Transit Authority and Salt Lake City to make this pass available today. And I won't try to get into how complicated doing something like this, but the star of our show has been Robin Hutchison, who's our transportation director. I know when I get emails from her at 2 in the morning fretting that I know this has not been the healthiest effort on her part for her own health, but for the health of our city, we appreciate it. We've had a whole team of other people working on it. We've had interns. We have a whole group of interns in Salt Lake City. I'm going to mention just a few of those who've been particularly attentive. Henrik Burns and Ivana French, who've put in great time and effort on this. We've set up a billing so people can get their billings through their water bill, the public utilities system. Jim Lewis has done an extraordinary job of figuring out how to mesh that into their system, so thank you, Jim. Kate Lones, who's here, who's in our sustainability office, has been also working night and day to help get the word out and figure out how we can make these passes available. We've had some people in our IMS, our computer services area, Andrew Gordon and Randy Buckley, who've making this available both online and through our online sales. Cherise Sylvester and J.D. Blades in the Treasurer's office has figured out how to make this work there. And we've also had a customer service team setting this up through our utility bills, Sabella Dalton and Amanda Anderson. So thank you to all of our folks in Salt Lake City who literally have been working night and day to make this possible today for everybody in the city. So thank you all. I'm pleased to turn the time over to Mike Allegra, Utah Transit Authority General Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. It's a great morning. There's two things I really like: weather and clean air, and crowds like this, looking to ride transit. You guys deserve a shout out. I just talked to this wonderful couple over here, the Wrights, who have bought this pass and are telling me they're going to use it every day. Way to go. Thank you so much. You know, this really is about clean air. It's so exciting to see you all lined up here. Maybe we'll form two lines here in a minute, but to move you through, but this is so exciting, and for us this is a big step forward in our efforts, our individual efforts and our community efforts to clean up our air here. I have so much appreciated the leadership of Salt Lake City, Mayor Becker, the City Council, all the staff that's been recognized, our staff over here, Grantley Martelli, Danny Richardson. It's been 2 years in the makings. It seems simple. It wasn't, it isn't, and I really appreciate all the really hard work and all the details that went into making this happen. So now it's really up to you to make it a success. As was mentioned, it's a pilot program. We're taking some chances here, but it's really up to you. The more people that use it, the more chances you have of keeping it around. So tell all of your neighbors in the city to get online, get a pass, buy it, and use it, if you will. Our goal is to make transit as easy as possible to use. And this goal, this program, I call a pass in every pocket. You've got something in your pocket, you can get out there, ride transit anytime, anywhere you need to use it. It's really part of our bigger portfolio of air quality and frankly making transit your first choice. When you get up in the morning and you're going to work, you got a pass in your pocket. Hopefully, as Mayor Becker has talked about some of these new initiatives, those buses are going to be coming every 15 or 20 minutes. The train's going to be frequent. It's going to be easier to use transit than it is to take other modes of transportation. Part of their portfolio is buses and trains, bicycles, car sharing, any modes are really important to us. So I thank you for being here. I thank you for being part of this. And it's so exciting to me to see this line of people set up and wanting to buy this pass. So Mayor, thank you for your initiative and your courage, and we look forward to great, great results. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you all. We can have some questions, but Robin, I wonder if you or someone wants to make sure everyone knows the details of what they need to bring to be able to get a pass. I want to make sure I don't miss something. So.
All right, so you'll need to bring a couple things when you come to get your Hive pass. We need you to show that you're a resident of Salt Lake City. To do that, the best thing to do before you come get your pass is go to ridewithhive.com, and there's a link you can click on where you enter your address, and it'll tell you, are you in Salt Lake City, or are you outside of the boundary of the city? Once you verify that you are indeed a Salt Lake City resident, you need to come to one of our sales locations, and there are numerous sales locations listed on ridewithhive.com, and bring with you one picture ID as well as either a tax statement or a lease agreement, something very formal that has your name and address. If you don't have one of those, you can also bring, in addition to your picture ID, 2 formal pieces of mail. And if you bring all those things with you, we'll be able to issue you a Hive pass.